Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Pat the designer, John Jurkovic in the building. We got a game week, Jurko.
It's about time.
It is about time. I'm tired of predicting what may, might, or could happen, and I'm sick of lists.
I'm not sick of lists. I love lists.
You love a list, do you?
I loved it. 100 days. We started at May 27th, and we just finished it up today.
Not those lists.
Which means football is set and ready to rock. That's what it means to me.
Well done.
Yeah, I know what you don't like. You don't like the top 10 quarterbacks. You don't like the top 10 this.
You know what I mean?
Top 15 this. The top that.
Top 35 quarterbacks.
Everybody's got a list, and everybody wants to tell you why. These are my tiers, and this and that and that.
You know what would make it better for me? If as a company, the companies put out a list. You know what throws me? When one week I'm sitting here looking at a Ben Solak list, the next week I'm looking at, Courtney Cronin's input on an ESPN list. The next week I'm looking at, hey, you got 17 different lists and there's 40 different opinions.
But there's not one.
What are we doing here?
There's not one corporate list.
But that's what I'm saying. Give me a corporate list here.
It's the last thing I want.
Yeah,
I want Pete Prisco's list, and I want
some continuity here.
I don't need continuity. I want a wide range of differing opinions on who they think is good or not good.
So that we can get through to the offseason to get to the season. I like it.
Here's my problem about the Bears. I'm going to start it off for you. I know you got an agenda.
Let's do it. Don't worry about it. It's the Jurko show, baby.
I wonder if Braxton Jones is my biggest concern or if Dayo's my biggest concern. That's what I wonder. Who's your biggest concern? Is it your left tackle or is it the guy they brought in and paid $16 million? $16 million.
16, yes.
Per year, playing the right end that doesn't look like he's got a feel for football.
I've got some concerns there. I've got some big concerns on both sides. On the left side, on both sides, if we're being honest.
You got Montez Sweat. You got Montez Sweat.
Dayo would be on the right side, yeah.
I was going to say, you got Sweat concerns, or what do you have?
I got Dayo and I got Braxton concerns. And I'll say this, Jurko, because I think you start in a great spot here, and it is where we're heading. And I want you to explain this. We got to pay some bills here. But is this the situation that you had to bring in Ben Johnson for? You bring in a Dennis Allen for. Yes, you've got your concerns, but this is where the coaching comes in. Give it a second. Think on that. Let that marinate, because we do got to let you guys know Chicago Bears podcast brought to you by the Advantage Dealer Group. Find your next Chevy, Toyota, or Acura and drive off in under 60 minutes, and they'll make your first car payment. Also brought to you by the Hard Rock Casino in Northern Indiana, located 30 minutes from Soldier Field, exit 6, I-80-94. You want to let us know about Mitch Lyons?
Yeah, Mitch Lyons Wealth, fellas. MitchLyonsWealth.com. That's where you want to go. If you want to grow, you want to win retirement, you want to make your life easier when you're in the red zone of life, the red zone of getting ready to retire, and you want to win retirement. What it's all about is my guy Mitch Lyons. Played in the league for 7 years, played for Atlanta and played for Pittsburgh. I chewed some of the same dirt with him. Played in a couple of playoff games, a couple of regular season games against them. So Mitch Lyons, once he retired, this is what he's done, and this is what he does. He concentrates on how to help people get to the finish line, and that way they're making money while they're retired and having a good time. So MitchLyonsWealth.com, that's the direction you want to go.
Make sure to tap in with Mitch Lyons Wealth. All right, good kid. The concerns on Braxton as we get ready for this Monday night game, I think, are incredibly valid. I don't feel like you have a strong left tackle case here. I feel the same kind of way about Dayo, who you brought in. Is that not where, though, the coaching staff has to step up and make the difference? You have to scheme it the right way, because what I've seen in the last few Super Bowls here is Patrick Mahomes, I know he's Pat Mahomes, but go to a Super Bowl with bad tackles consistently. Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl with no tackles, essentially no offensive line for a good chunk of that, and the scheme helped them out in some of those ways. Is that not where you have to rely on the coaches?
Well, listen, at least with your left tackle, you got Braxton Jones. Has played there before. He's been there before. He's done a decent job before.
He's average.
Yeah, he's an average player, and that's what you get for where you get a guy at that round. You're hoping he develop, get better. He got hurt. Can he play at the level? Can you coach guys to become better? Can you ask less of them? Can you help them?
That more so. Can you ask less of them?
You can help them, but Dayo coming in here and paying the kind of money you're paying him, you'd expect a little bit more out of what he seems to be able to give. What he looks like he does is he's like the water. He's looking for the path of least resistance on how to get to the quarterback. I don't know if he can beat a guy. I don't know if he can win. I just think that he can, he decides to rush outside, and when he can't rush inside, he just loops all the way around inside, tries to come up to center. At some point, you're going to have to beat a guy. You're going to have to go through a guy. You're going to have to go over a guy. You're going to have to go around a guy.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to maintain outside leverage to keep that quarterback in the pocket. You start screwing around against quarterbacks that are mobile, you're going to find yourself in a little bit of trouble. He also doesn't have a ton of awareness for the ball. He just runs, and he's upfield, and it's a running play, and it's cutting behind him.
Yeah.
And the play's going down to the goal line. He's upfield 4 or 5 yards, going, wait, where'd the ball go? Where'd the ball go? The ball is the issue.
Yeah.
Always in this league. The ball is always the issue. You have a responsibility, but then the ball dictates that you need to adjust off your responsibility. So it'll be interesting to see here in the first 4 or 5. It's hard for a coach to make a guy more cognizant of where the football is,
right,
unless that's not, if it's not a priority of the football player. So he's got to convince him that that's a priority. You can't just run 5 yards upfield for no reason at all because you think that you might have to rush the passer on this play.
Yeah.
So down distance, personnel groupings, how they line up motion will help you kind of narrow it down on, hey, this is 80-20 run, or this is like 80-20 pass. That helps you a little bit. So hopefully he gets around to figuring that out.
I would assume you've taken a look at him. We've seen a million, people breaking down everyone's tape on Twitter, and I'm always very skeptical of that because, you probably don't know what you're looking at if you're on Twitter more times than not.
First of all, you want to know what the play is.
100%.
You got to know what his individual responsibility is. That's what you have to find out first.
Right.
Then once you find out what the individual responsibility is, then you can go ahead and say, hey, is he doing a good job or a bad job? That's it.
When you take a look at it, do you feel like there are things that he is taking too long to get into? That Dayo, his steps aren't
no,
effective.
He's a big guy,
mm-hmm,
and that's probably helped get him by for an extended period of time. Now you're in the big leagues. Just being big isn't good enough.
Right.
You've got to be able to do something with your bigness, and like a guy like Ninkovich. Ninkovich came off the corner, rushed the passer, but Ninkovich was aware of what was happening around him.
Right.
He was cognizant of what the football was, where it was. He cognizant of having his outside arm free. Didn't have the greatest moves, didn't have the best physical ability, but he was where he needed to be when he was supposed to be there, and he made the plays when he had to. The plays that he's supposed to make, he made.
Yeah.
And then he rushed the quarterback, gave you 8 sacks a year. Didn't give you 15 sacks a year. They never paid him like a guy that was going to give you 15 sacks a year. They paid him accordingly. Like a guy that was on there, knew what he was doing, could figure it out, could read and react. There's no read and react right now out of Dayo, and that's the area of concern for Dayo. Braxton Jones needs to find the form, and he needs to reach down deep inside his soul and find the football player that he once was, and he needs to bring him back out. Can't worry about being hardened from the business and this and that. Reach down and into your soul and find the football player that you once were, the guy that looked like he was becoming better and better, but then got sidetracked for one reason or another. He's there. He's somewhere.
Yeah.
Bring him back out. That's what we need to see.
Is there a way to overcome the limitations that you clearly have? For Braxton, the biggest limitation has been his struggles with the bull rush.
Right, level.
How does he just being more level on that? Because
playing at a better level, playing with knee bend, and getting your steps, your kick down, getting to where you need to be.
So it's a technique issue with Braxton.
It's a technique issue, yeah.
It's not a strength issue because that's what it looked like watching him last year.
It's always a technique issue. Tall players need to be able to have knee bend.
Mm-hmm.
With knee bend comes leverage, and with leverage comes solid football play. So he's got to find that leverage that he once had that for one reason or another is dissipated on him, and he gets run over the top. Now, you don't mind. If a guy's trying to come through me all day, that wouldn't bother me. It probably wouldn't bother Joe Tooney. What bothers some of these guys when they work the edges and they go back and forth and they get your feet crossed up, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Most times you don't mind if a guy wanted to go over the top of him all the time, Darnell Wright would be fine. Go ahead and do that all day. All you're going to
because I got the mass.
Well, you're going to tire yourself out. Mass and the technique. You got to have the technique also. So when you're getting run over, you got to sit in a chair. When you sit in a chair, you force the guy up. You're both vertical. The forward pressure isn't there anymore. So, hopefully he works on his technique a little bit. But, It's there.
Yeah.
You just got to find it. You got to find it inside. These aren't the guys that brought you here. You've got to re-impress these individuals.
100%.
So you've got to prove to these guys that you can play. And right now you haven't been able to prove that you can play. So hopefully in the first 4 weeks before they get into the bye week, he proves to them he can play.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson's been open and honest. Is he not about it? He's like, listen, we may have a different left tackle week 6.
Yeah, you don't know.
I've never heard a coach just openly.
That's
we
the way
may
it
have
is.
a different left tackle week 6.
That's
we'll
the way it
see
is.
where it is. Like,
hey, we had a guy, Earl Dotson, took him 3 years and took an injury. Somebody got hurt his 3rd year, and he was pressed into action. Then he responded.
yeah,
He responded, and Earl was an offensive tackle there for about 6, 7, 8 years. Sometimes that's the way it has to happen. But for the first 2 years, they were like, hey, is he ever going to show up?
Yeah.
Is he ever going to show up? Is he ever going to show up? I mean, we played Joe Sims there. We played guys there, that were better than he was at the time, but Earl Dotson had a bigger upside. And then finally Earl responded, and he ended up playing there. And, that's why if he can't get the job done, somebody's going to get pressed into action, and hopefully somebody responds when they get in there.
yeah, we'll see. And listen, he doesn't start off his career with I guess not his career. He doesn't start off this season with any easy matchups. Yeah. Good kid. I mean, maybe Dallas now. Yeah. With no Micah Parsons there because we got to play him twice up in Green Bay. But, I mean, when you look ahead to this Minnesota game, we've talked about the trenches a ton. What do you need to see from this newly put together offensive line? Truly, for the first time, we've seen them in a real game because Joe Thuney has not played. What are you looking at?
Thuney hasn't played. Grady Jarrett hasn't played.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to get those guys in there to see exactly what's happening, what's not happening. I don't want to see problems with stunts because you didn't play your 2 guys. They've had some practice time together, but they haven't had game time together. So hopefully stunts aren't going to be an issue for these guys as they move forward. I'm hoping Grady Jarrett can help Dayo a little bit because of experience. Hey, cognizant of the run here. Don't go, hell-bent for election just running up the field.
Right.
So, hopefully he can help them a little bit. Or, some things that guys can see that they notice, maybe out of stances and formations when guys get up to the line of scrimmage. Maybe they can help each other, up and down the line of scrimmage. If you see something, I always say call it out. Sometimes you hit on it and it's the right thing. Other things just make you a little bit cautious. And being cautious isn't a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. But, they can all help each other along that defensive line and that offensive line. You get together, play as a unit, trying to go after the common goal, that's victory. I don't care how you get to victory, as long as you get to victory.
Yeah.
Because nobody asked you how pretty they were. They just figure out you either won or you lost. That's it.
Brian Flores, king of the zero blitzes. Caleb described him last season. What's going to be, in your mind, the biggest challenge for Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams here against this defense?
The biggest problem out of Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams, is Caleb's willingness to throw the football when he has to throw the football. His willingness to settle for the easy stuff. Mm-hmm. Why hit a shot from the free throw line if you can hit a layup? I'd rather you hit the layup than to take the shot from the free throw line. Take what is going to be given to you. Identify what's being given to you and take it.
Yeah.
And then when you start taking advantage of that, now they're going to start changing and they're going to start reacting and they won't drop as deep and they'll be a little shallower and that'll open up everything behind you. So I'm hoping they take advantage of that. I hope they take advantage of the skill that Colston Loveland gives you. I don't know if they're going to play a ton of 12 personnel or they're not going to play a ton of 12 personnel, but hopefully they get the game plan, they get it going. The play action is going to be working, but Caleb's got to throw the ball when he's got a chance to throw the ball. That's it. Throw it. Don't be afraid to throw it. Don't hold it. I don't want to see him spinning in circles. Hold the ball for 4 seconds, spinning in circles in the pocket. That's no good.
Yeah, listen, there are moments where it works to his advantage, but more times than not, I think we can see from last season, that's what led to those sacks, especially some of the crucial ones when he was told, go be Superman versus the Minnesota Vikings in overtime. I'd like a game plan a little better than that.
Your roof's got more layers than the Conspiracy Podcast.
Is that a sandwich wrapper?
Ah, yes, vintage 1988. It really builds character.
Avondale Roofing. Inspect smarter, dig deeper, and get to the core of your roof's health.
Let me ask you this. I'm sure you went up against a multitude of rookie quarterbacks in your time in the NFL. Seems like you're going to get one here with the Vikings. What's the mindset of the defense, especially that defensive line when you got somebody who's new to the game?
You'd like to get after them. You'd like to confuse them. Most young quarterbacks, when you play zone against them, have a tendency to get confused. When you play man, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You find the guy, blitz, come and find the guy, throw the ball on target, throw the ball on time. Get right, ball, there it is, boom, fire it. When you make them think and you make them hesitate, that's usually when they have problems. So you drop back, you give him a zone, give him something he's never seen, rush 3 guys, drop 8, and just cause a little bit of confusion for his mind where he comes in and all he sees is everybody else.
Yeah.
And maybe he tries to force something, He's JJ McCarthy's athletic.
Yeah.
He can run. He can move. He might move better than Caleb does. He doesn't move as good as Justin Fields did.
He doesn't move as good as Justin.
Right, but I bet you he moves better than JJ McCarthy. I mean, better than
Caleb Williams does?
Yeah. Yes. Because I think Caleb's more willing to sit and watch and look.
Yeah.
Where JJ's just more willing to go.
Yes. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. JJ's more willing to say, I have nothing here. I got to get out of here.
I got to go
where
get
Caleb's going to hang on. I understand what you're saying. He's going
to wait to see if something develops and he tries to throw it down the field.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think, when I look at JJ's game, especially in college, he reminds me of kind of what Jalen Hurts has become in the NFL. When we need you, you got to be accurate.
Yeah.
But we're not going to want to need you nearly as much as maybe some do.
I don't think anybody knows what JJ McCarthy is capable of. And I'm going to tell you why. His head coach at college limited him.
Yep.
His opening game, he had 3 touchdowns. He was 11 to 12 passing. 12 passes, 11 to 12, 200-plus yards, 3 touchdowns. When you've got a coach that wants to run the football and he limits what you can do as a player, I don't think anybody knows what he's capable of. I saw him when he was in college at Nazareth Academy, high school, I should say, at Nazareth Academy. I saw him in a state championship game throw the ball all over the field.
Right.
It was a windy day. It was a rainy day. But he was happy to drop back and fire the football. On the day in inclement weather, maybe the best idea wasn't to throw the football, but they were down and they had to throw the ball. So he was firing the ball. He was firing it on target. He's willing to throw the ball, and he's got an arm. He's got a gun for an arm. So I don't think anybody knows what J.J. McCarthy is capable of. We'll see. I know this. He probably didn't develop in college the way he should have if he would have gone somewhere else except Michigan. But
that is the one thing I wonder here this first year. We've heard mixed reviews out of Vikings camp about what JJ has been. Some people think he's, Jesus Christ in football clothes. Some people think he's struggling at best to get through this camp. So it'll be interesting to see that on the field.
The ultimate test will be this week.
I would say, though,
it'll be their first 7-8 weeks to see exactly what he is and what he is not.
Yeah, I would say, though, the threat of this Vikings team is still the run game. Am I right on that?
To me, the
Jordan Addison you out on that?
Not Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison suspended. Aaron Jones is
I'm sorry, not Jordan Addison.
Aaron Jones is the guy. They got Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, I believe, that are going to play.
Jordan Mason is the backup. I think that's Jordan Mason's the backup there. Yeah.
I'm not concerned about their running game. I'm not concerned about T.J. Hockenson either, even though Hockenson had a hell of a game here. I think it was here in Chicago, the 30-27 loss. He had a second half and an overtime that he looked like he's the only guy that was catching the ball, and he was wide open all the time. So I'm not worried about their running game. I'm worried about their defense. I'm worried about their defense stymieing the Chicago Bears. I'm worrying about them getting after the quarterback. That's what concerns me. So we'll find out exactly how it's going to be, how it's going to break down. But if they can handle what they're bringing defensively, I think they should be in pretty good shape.
In your time in the league, what'd you notice seemed to be, if there was one, a theme with some of the struggles that first-time head coaches went through early on in their careers?
Just try to be themselves and not try to be somebody else.
Do we need a Matt Nagy BU sign on the sideline?
Yeah, but Coughlin was his own unique individual, but he came from Parcells, so is he going to be Parcells? As Chris Palmer, when he took over in Cleveland, was he going to be Coughlin or was he going to be Parcells? Because he came from that tree too.
Right.
Holmgren was his own guy, and Holmgren established exactly who he was right away. With Miami, It was Shula. Shula's a legend, and Shula knew he was a legend at the time. So, but most young guys don't know who they want to be. Be your authentic self and just go out and do it the way you want to do it. Don't try to do it like somebody else. Don't try to be something you're not.
Right.
Just go out there and do it. And I think Ben Johnson is who he is. So I don't think there's any gray area.
He's very confident. He comes out. I love it every time we talk to him, Jurk. It truly is this just wait and see what we're going to be able to show you mindset.
Yeah.
When it's a 4,000-yard quarterback, passer, 30-plus touchdown passer, he's like, yeah, you'll see it. Don't worry about it. Like, the goal is
if
here.
the offense clicks and if the quarterback plays well, then the numbers will take care of themselves.
Exactly.
So you won't have to look at the numbers and what kind of numbers they were. They'll just settle where they got to settle at the end of the year. The key to having any of those stats for any quarterback is the ability to play 17 games. So as long as you keep your quarterback healthy and he can play 17 games, usually good things will happen. If they find a way to win 9 games this year, I have a feeling good things are happening at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
They got a tough schedule. They got a lot of tough stuff on the road. Green Bay didn't get any easier to play. But remember, Green Bay was 8-0 last year against the AFC South and the NFC West.
Yep.
They were 8-0. They beat Frisco. They beat the Rams. They beat Seattle. They beat everybody that was out there. They were 1-5 in the division, just like the Bears. So, can the Bears win more games in the division? That's what they're looking to do. But they're not going 8-0 against the AFC North.
No.
They're not going 8-0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's going to come down. Maybe it's 4-4. Maybe it's 5-3.
I think the whole division.
But where are your other victories coming from? Of course, nobody's going to do what they did last year.
Yeah.
There's too many wins in our division last year. We had 45 wins.
Yeah.
In our division last year, 45 victories in the NFC North. Most of them coming from the top 3 teams. The Bears gave you 5. I believe they gave you 5.
Yeah.
Right? So
we were the Bill Wennington of the NFC North last
year. So the natural coming down party is
no disrespect,
happening
Bill.
That everybody knows because, Detroit's not going to win 15, but they can win 12.
Right.
Detroit can. They can win
100%.
11.
100%.
The Packers can win 11. Detroit can, we already did Detroit. Minnesota is one of those teams that give you 10 victories. Can the Bears give you 9? I think the last place team, because of injuries or because of bad things that happen over the course of the year, will finish with 8 victories.
I would agree.
So the last place teams will be 8-9 in the NFC North. And then everybody finishes just a little bit above them. And it could be 12-5, 10-7, 9-8.
Right.
That could be where they finish this year.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's how it's going to be. It's going to be a tight division. It's going to be a tight division all year. The schedule's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. You've got to win the games that you have to win against poor opponents. And then you've got a way to fight and win games that are 50-50 games. You've got to find a way to win those games. And then you're going to maybe sneak one that you shouldn't have snuck out somewhere down the line.
Bears have an opportunity here to get a leg up in this division with the first 2 games, starting with game 1 here. Do you think the Bears come out victorious this Monday night?
I hope they do. I've got them right now with the 1.5. They're at home. They battled them tough at home last year. I think the improvements that have been made within the coaching staff and trying to create the new culture of this team, I think the opening weekend they find a way to go ahead and win a football game. Week 2, not so much, but week 1, I think they find a way to win a game.
I've said consistently, I just think common sense makes this team better, Jurko.
I hope so.
What we didn't see last year, like those couple of timeouts we didn't see, those couple of moments of I've never seen anyone do this in NFL history except you, Matt Eberflus.
That's a long way from 5 to 9.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know if common sense just takes you from 5 to 9. Common sense might take you 5 to 7. But some sort of skill and some sort of game planning and some sort of good stuff's got to happen to be able to go from 5 to 9. But I don't think 9 gets you in the playoffs.
But you've said even on this pod,
like I said,
right?
you never know.
You've said even on this pod that, last year you were an 8-win football team that magically took 3 wins out of the mouth with some of the dumbest decisions in the world.
Against a much easier schedule.
That is true.
Against a much easier schedule.
That is true.
That's why I'd put a little bit of caution out there. And as well as Bill Barnwell thinks the Bears are going to finish, he's also got San Francisco doing the same thing. And you saw what San Francisco, with all the injuries they had last year, did to the Chicago Bears out there.
Yeah.
They beat the living crap out of them.
Yes, they did.
Every game is an individual game. It's an individual test. Try to build confidence early on. Hopefully you can. And the team starts playing a little bit better than they are. which is what you want.
Let's hope so. Good kid. I wish you many good post-game shows this year.
Thank you.
And hopefully there's a lot more wins to talk about than what we had last season.
Can't handle another 10-game losing streak.
We
Can't do it.
Since we've been doing this, we have not had a fun. I haven't had a great post yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Well, not a run, a great post.
not around me. Listen, the
Not a
post
run.
is always great. The show itself
I'm
is
waiting.
great.
I'm waiting for a 4-week run of being happy.
What's the best we had? The 4-2, probably. Well, Justin Fields' end of the season when we won 7 games. That's probably the best that we had. But we were kind of out of it already.
Yeah.
Oh, we 2-6 by the time they started. Well, that shit. Just win some football games, Ben.
Please. That's all we want.
Put a smile on that face right there.
Finally.
Hey, for the good kid, John Jurkovich, it's your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down. One love. Peace.